Hi, it's Roger again with the Ugly Annealer. I just want to give you some idea of what to expect when your machine arrives for the first time. When it arrives, the base and this bar won't be attached. So just lie it on its back, put that into the threaded hole to screw it in by hand, and then attach a nut to the back and the front of the bar. So on the inside and the outside. Go with the first hole to start with, that's where the majority of people will end up using it. Once you've done that, and that's nice and solid, put your base on. The base has holes at the front, so if you choose to, you can bolt it to your table, but you don't have to. We recommend that for the annealing that you use a Benzomatic UL 100K. Why that? No, we don't have shares. It's just because it was available and it's cheap and it worked really well. The mount that we use will fit basically any nozzle diameter of 12.7 to 13 mil. That'll go on to the spar here, and then you can mount it infinitely up or down, front or back, however you choose, whatever caliber you're using. Now, if you can't find something that fits in there, that's okay. If you're in a different country, they've got different standards, this will be provided. That just simply fits on your bottle like that, and that will sit in whichever position you place it in. Couple little features in there. It's got a notch at the top so you can mark the bottle exactly where you want it, so it's in the same place every time. And there's little holes in the feet so you can mark your table so it's easy to put it back into place if you bump it or put it away. You do get an instructional manual with it. That's got a lot of details there for you, but we'll keep going with it just so that it's easier to watch me and I can show you a few things. Now, you see on this side here, these are all 2.5 mil. All right, so we've got a 2.5 mil Allen key. We'll go 3 and a 4 Allen key as well, but this fits all of these ones here. And there's also a little one on the inside. The reason why we have one on the inside is this bar, which is our case ejector, can be set at different lengths depending on which caliber you want to use. So I'll just put this on, nice and easy. Make sure you don't have it touching the wheel. Make sure the wheel runs freely without grinding away at that. If with the case injector, you can actually wind it so that it sits further out for something like a 50 BMG, and the case guard will sit out as well. So that can just pop in there nicely. If you want to go with something smaller, like 308, you'll put the case guard in. Comes all the way in like that, and you have that down past the shoulder. The wheels are also adjustable. You can move them forward and back depending on which case you're using. The wider wheel is better for the majority of calibers. It does come with a thinner wheel, and the thinner wheel is what you'd use for something really short like a 300 Blackout. With the upper wheel, you shouldn't have to move it forward and back, but if you're going to use a rimmed case, like say a 303, that just gives you a bit of clearance at the back. They should all have clearance anyway, you don't want the rubbing on the case, but that just gives you a bit more space. Now, bear in mind, for safety's sake, always use unprimed cases. If you want to do 50 BMG, just use it like that. Don't worry about putting a insert in. But I'm going to put one in just to show you what it's like. I'm going to use a 308 Winchester. Now it's got laser engraving on there, so you'll know what size is what. You've got a speed adjuster dial up here and the on and off button. I'm just going to bring it up to a vertical position to make it nice and easy. Now the RPM speed goes from 4 RPM up to 18 RPM. All right, put my caliber insert in, get my screw, get my 4 mil. Lock it in place nice and easy, and you get this. All right, now this is just to have your cases feeding nice and easily. You can see what's going on. Nice and strong polycarbonate. Make sure you put a washer on each side of it to protect it. Let's start with a 308 case, obviously. We'll put that there. Now the case is actually, you can't see it from here, but it's actually slanted like that. That helps them all sit in the right place and feed nice and reliably. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push this all the way to the back, right? Put a little bit of pressure on the case, and then I'm going to bring it forward slightly. You want to be able to see down between it so that it's not binding up in any way, and that'll feed correctly. Once you've got that, run it through a few times. Make sure this is in tight for something like a 308. Make sure this is at the right setting. Make sure that's at the right setting for you. So you want the flame not touching any part of these. Won't melt them because they're heat proof, but that's okay. It makes it where it should be. Run it through a few times just without any flame, and then run it through a few times with flame. Once you've got it all set up to your satisfaction and it's exactly right, you can basically load it up to the top of that, and that should feed perfectly. Well, thank you very much. Good luck. Happy annealing.